Are you going to finish that croissant?
Welcome back to the Jabroni Show, where we think we know what we're doing, but we probably don't. But with today, I'm tackling timing belt and my the seals, the 3 seals that are there as well. I already got the cover off. That's about it. Drained the coolant because the rad's coming out, and gonna be loose or taking off the all these accessory belts. As you can see, my belt it's definitely needing to be changed. I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick it up. It does not want to focus right now. You can see the cracks, but anyway, that's what we're doing, or what I'm doing today. Okay, so it took me a little bit to get them all loose because it's never as easy as you think. To get the power steering belt off, the 3 bolts you're gonna need to loosen is this one right here. There's another one down there, right there on that bracket. You loosen that one, and then there's one more right there. You loosen those 3, and then you pretty much just push this down like this. You can, it's easy. I found it easiest to go from this way and push to the side, and then the belt comes off just like that. So there you go. Now you got the power steering belt off. Make sure you label that and you don't forget. A little update for you guys. I just popped my harmonic balancer bolt. You know, the one down there on the harmonic balancer. How I did it was I had to take a step back. I realized I had to put the cam angle sensor in back on. So I should have done that first, but whatever, it took 5 minutes. Anyway, what I did was I attached it to my breaker bar to the frame down there. Since the RB is a rotational direction engine, or clockwise, just how I did it was I attached my breaker bar to the bottom of the frame rail, and just with some weed whacker string, or you can use a rope or anything really, and literally just flick the key over and it just popped right off. So you don't have to, I mean, if you want, you can unplug the injectors just so it doesn't turn over. So now I can continue on with what I was doing, which is I'll take this back off, time the engine so it's at top dead center, and then continue on removing the rest of the belts. So it should really be no problem. Next hurdle is getting the cam gears off to deal with the seals, but considering the fact that it's now broken loose, the timing belt should be able to keep it in place, because I'm gonna break those bolts loose, or loosen everything up, and then take the belt off, remove the cam gears, replace seals, business as usual. Okay, so got the radiator out with the clutch fan shroud. Next, I'm taking off the AC belt. Yeah.
Well, damn, do that to me.
But where you want to go? Oh fuck! I'll go down here. Hang on. What you're gonna want to do is break this bolt loose here that I'm pointing at. It doesn't have to be super loose, just break it loose. This one is the one that you break loose to lift this up in order to get the belt off. So you'll know how much you have to take it off or like back it off in order to get this belt off, but that's the AC belt for you. It's probably the most straightforward belt. And then after that will be the alternator belt. So back to it. And just like that for the alternator belt, you are going to want to loosen this bolt. This is the one that slides the alternator back and forth. And then there's a bolt right there. That's the one you just want to crack loose and then allow the alternator to rotate back and forth. Well, allow that bolt to go back and forth. Anyway, that's it. All the belts are off. Okay, so I didn't really record much of what I was doing, but I got the harmonic balancer pulled off where it used to be, and where it is now. Wasn't that hard, but yeah, so that's off now. I'm going to be taking this lowered timing cover off and then remove the gears and just begin with the seal shit. So yeah, that's a little update for you guys. That's what I did. On to the next thing. So, as you can probably tell, I've got the timing belt now off. Next step, I am going to be dealing with the seals. First, I'm going to be doing the front main just because it's the easiest. And then after, I'll tackle the cam gears. There's a Allen right there. Actually, you can't see shit when it's that close. When it's Allen, you can see right beside the bolt. You just like, or the nut, you crack that loose, the nut, and then you throw your 5mm Allen key into there, and then you just turn it, loosen it up, and then you take the belt off. Make sure before you take the belt off that everything is at top dead center, or else you're gonna have a hell of a time either destroying your engine or retiming everything individually. I made sure everything was at top dead center, so we'll see once I put everything back together and then crank it over by hand a couple times to see if there's any clicking or anything hitting each other. But other than that, pretty straightforward how to take the belt off, as you can see right there on the ground. Took a little bit of work. Let me see. Will I adjust to the lighting? As you can see, well, hold on. Oof. Did I just fucking just on my lens? No. Okay, we're good. Okay. This. There's a little bit of scoring. Not on the inside of where the seal sits, mainly just around from trying to get the thing off. So there's the damage is probably like 0.02%. Obviously, I wasn't trying to do it, and obviously I wasn't trying to do that. But at least it's out now. I put the new one in, and we're gonna be done that. So once again, I didn't film it, I just kind of forgot. But this is the exhaust cam seal. I got both sealed out, and I got the front main in, so that's good. But yeah, so now I'm just gonna be replacing these. I might try the idea of putting the seals into the freezer for a bit, just so that they, in theory, shrink. That way they're easy to put in. I'm gonna look and see if people suggest that or not. If not, throw the new cam seals in, grease them up a little bit. I didn't grease the front main, which is a big no-no. I am expecting premature failure, unfortunately. But as long as I do these ones right and I time it correctly, I really don't really have a problem like in a year from now taking it apart just to do the front main properly. Yeah, I just want to drive the car. So I'm gonna be putting this is out now. Put the new ones in. Then I just basically have to retime the engine. Well, not retime it, but like, you know, put it back, start putting everything back together. Rotate it a few times, make sure that it's properly timed, and then start it up and fucking rip it. So yeah. So I just pulled them out of the freezer. I'm gonna give them a couple of minutes to like warm up a little bit, but I'm gonna put some grease on them. This is all I got, so. But yeah, I'm gonna put some grease on them and then put some oil on the backside and then just put them in there. And then after that, I'm gonna clean it up a little bit more. As you can see, it's like, you know, fucking dirty. I just don't want to do that right now while the cams are exposed with no seals. So I'm gonna wait till after. I brake cleaned, or I put a little bit of brake clean in them. Not a whole lot. Just like, you know, get some grime out, and it did. So that's good. And then yeah, I'm just gonna clean up the valve covers a little bit, mainly just the intake side. But I thought that my valve cover gasket was leaking because of all this, and it's not dirty on this side, but I think due to this thing and the cam seals being both shot, that this might be it. So hopefully my valve covers gaskets aren't murked yet. Eventually down the road I'm gonna be doing a whole refresh on this thing. I want to drive it, so that's what we're gonna be doing today. Once I get the seals back in, I'm pretty much just putting it all back together. Just putting the cam gears back on, and then torquing those down, and then putting the timing belt on and the rest of the belts on. Do some rotations, make sure nothing's hitting each other, and then we should be good. Start it up and hopefully everything's fine driving. So yeah, that's what I'm doing today.
Cheesy.
Okay, so now the seals are in. They're all even, I think. Hopefully. Don't quote me on that. If shit starts leaking, we know why. So yeah, now that the seals are in, I'm going to clean it up a little bit more and then put it back together. Shouldn't be that hard. these bolts are going to be torqued after the timing belt's on. So just a quick reminder, now that I'm putting the timing belt back on, down here, make sure you put these back on in the order that you took them off. For me to remember, I took them off and then I taped them together, like the 3 pieces with this, and then that piece right there, and just like tape them in the order they go on. Just to make sure you remember to put them back on the way they came off. So it's the next day again. I don't think I recorded it, but I got the timing belt on now. Easiest way I found to put the timing belt on was to slip it over this gear and then put it underneath, like put it through the bottom gear, or like, you know, in the area. Stretch it, line it up with this gear, or not, and then slide it onto this pulley, or like the guide, pulley guide, whatever. That's the way I found it to be easiest, because going and trying to line it up with the gears there was pissing me off and I was having a terrible time. So if you guys are like me and are just a one-man operation, this is what I found to be easiest, just like sliding it onto this one. And then for tightness, you want that, like, I guess you can't even see it right now because of the light. What you want for tightness on this is like about like a quarter turn. Obviously you don't want it to be too tight, because then stretch the belt, snap the belt, and then it squeals and shit. And then you don't want it too loose, because it could just fly off. So I'm pretty sure I found the happy medium, which is just like this quarter turn. It's from feel wise, it's the same as it was when I with the old timing belt. But yeah, so that's the timing belt on. Oh, come on, there you go. Now it's just time to put all the belts back on, or I guess actually I torqued this one down and then I gotta torque this one down, and then after that this one here, because you have to loosen this bolt here for the adjustable pulley here. Yeah, it self tightens, so just like, you know, take a hand tighten and a couple of good, or like 2 firm torques with a wrench should do it just fine. And then after that, you know, just make sure it's firm in place. So both the cam gears are now torqued down. For the VCT cam gear, the inside bolt torque specs is 132 Newton meters, and then, or at least that's what I torqued mine down to. And then for the cast gear, I torqued the 4 little bolts down to 20 Newton meters, and I guess we'll see if it pops off or not. Hopefully it shouldn't, you know, but you know, you never know. So yeah, now I gotta put the cover back on and a harmonic balancer. Actually, you know what, before I do that, I'm gonna take the old bolt, put it in there, and just rotate it a couple times, because I got a new crank pulley bolt, or crankshaft bolt, and yeah, explain why in a bit. So believe it or not, once again I have not recorded what I did, but crankshaft bolt is now torqued down to 110 foot-pounds. Wasn't too difficult, to be honest. I didn't use like any belts, or not belts, but you know, any special tricks besides putting this in the cam gear and then just like holding it against the force of 110 foot-pounds. So, you know, it's doable. It's not a RB26 with what, like 450 Newton meters and bullshit like that. But yeah, it's good now. Gonna put everything back together. Make sure it's at top dead center. I should definitely know how to do that. Yeah, rotate it back top dead center, and then put everything back together, and then fingers crossed when I start it, it doesn't blow up. So yeah, but just so you know, 110 foot-pounds, or at least that's what I did it to. For at least the RB25, you don't need any special tool really. Just you know, if you want a cam gear pulley holder or whatever the fuck it's called. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, camshaft pulley holder tool. That's all you need. Yeah, that's about it. Next clip, probably me starting the car. Yeah. So all I have left to do now, hopefully, is start it. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. All right, so a few days have passed now. Everything is back together. I think from the last clip I had a startup, there's a video, a clip where I started it. Everything went perfectly. No squeals, no squeaks from belts, no too loose belts. I might take the cover off again just to make sure the belt's not walking forward or backwards. But other than that, it runs fine. I drove it around, it's good. So yeah, that's how to do your timing belt and seals with monkey level experience. If I can do it, you can do it. So that's pretty much gonna be the end of the video. If you're sticking around, you're here at this point, thank you. But yeah, don't forget to leave a comment. Love to hear it, good or bad, I don't really give a shit, just cool. Like, subscribe, and tell your mom I said hi.